This program is part of the Cosmic Potato Podcast Network. For more shows like this, visit our website at cosmicpotato.com.
Hey, listen!
All right, you guys, podcast time.
Make it so.
It's me, Mario!
I'm Batman. Strong am I with the Force.
Are you telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
You're a wizard, Harry.
And welcome to World War G episode 182. I'm Troy.
I'm AJ.
And I'm Colton.
Yeah, all three of us back together.
Reunited,
three
and
amigos.
it feels so good.
Yep. Happy late 4th of July. 4 days ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
So what'd you guys do? Anything?
We have a family tradition where we go to my aunt's house who lives in Riverdale, and they've got that Riverdale splash pad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in her backyard, and she has the walking trail to the park,
Oh, nice.
right next to her house. So we typically take the girls there, and they just have a whole bunch of fun playing in the splash pad and running around. They didn't do the splash pad this year because we didn't want to cart them back and forth to the park a million times when they change their mind.
Right.
But yeah, we just spent the day at my aunt's house, and then instead of staying there for the fireworks, we went to my dad's and watched everyone's fireworks from his neighborhood because, you can see hundreds of fireworks shows going off around that neighborhood.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Had to work, but then we went and did some hiking, and then kind of like on the trails, like went up high enough where you could see all the fireworks, and it pretty much looked like World War III was going on. Yeah, it sounded like it as well.
World War G, yeah.
Yeah.
I did nothing.
Woo!
I stayed inside.
You celebrated your independence.
I did.
Independently.
I got mad at my neighbors for setting off their fireworks at midnight and later.
Oh,
Troy's out there with like the hose, like
That's scary to
spraying
do.
them.
Scary to do in this neighborhood.
I know.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're fireworks or gunshots.
I know.
Pretty much. It's like the Purge where Troy lives. This is actually a built-in metal wall,
Mhm.
bunker that we're in recording.
He's got storm doors that come down.
You know how E, when she gets in her room, has to do the retinal scan and the handprint, and that's what I got to do to get into this
I was
room.
thinking more like 10 Cloverfield Lane. Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, that was annoying. Actually, speaking of my neighbors, my neighbor got arrested yesterday.
For?
Did you call the cops on him?
No. As near as we can figure, Joni was eavesdropping. Eavesdropping.
There you go.
Because they were talking, so she had her door open in her room, and there was an unloaded gun involved. It was over at this 7-Eleven.
Oh, wow.
Because the 7-Eleven guy was out with forms and stuff, so I think he was filling out some sort of incident form.
He's got his shotgun over his shoulder, right?
And yeah, he was carted away. I think it had something to do with brandishing a firearm, threatening somebody. I think it was something like that. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so this neighborhood's fun. A lot of fun. So sick of fireworks.
I think
Speaking of
you
which,
just hate America. That's what it is.
I hate that aspect of America.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't stand fireworks.
I'm kind of the same way now that I've gotten older. I feel like such an old man, especially being a homeowner. If I see people walking and they step on my grass when they're walking on my sidewalk, I'm like, you kids, get off my lawn.
I know. You feel that way.
That and... I just don't want to spend as much money on fireworks. I'd rather watch somebody else light them off, or
Gosh, I know.
professionals do it.
I heard by the time that they get to where we can buy them, they've already exchanged hands 4 times. So they're 4 times the cost that they should be.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make any sense.
I remember back in my day when we could buy a sparkler for 10 cents for a whole pack.
Oh, I was going to say 10 cents a sparkler. You're getting ripped off, man.
Well, I go, there's a whole black market for sparklers and fireworks and stuff, the good stuff.
Nice. On the dark web?
Yes.
actually, back in our day, we couldn't set off those aerial ones legally. Yeah. You can now, unfortunately.
So I had to make them. We actually took ground blooms and altered them and made them more explosive, and then would like throw them down in a tube and light one, which would shoot up a ground bloom into the air about like 50 feet, and then it'd start spinning and then like come hurtling back down towards us.
You know, the stuff you've said, I'm surprised you still have like all your fingers.
Okay, so speaking of which, actually I did want to be a Pyro Technician, and I was just like, this will be awesome, you know, so I went and I found like a Pyro Technician that does it for like Weaver State, their firework displays, and like as I shook his hand, he was missing 2 fingers.
Yeah.
And that's when I was just like, I'm out.
I'm good. Never mind.
You didn't ask him if it was related to his job?
No, I was too terrified to. And it was the good one too that he was missing. I know. The pinky.
He's like, which finger is the good finger?
This one.
I mean, there are a few that have advantages that I can think of, but
yeah.
Anyway,
that's for the late show.
Yes, that's World War Z After Dark. We talked about that.
World War G spot.
Sorry, listeners.
Well. So I've had kind of an interesting couple of weeks. You know that I've had this kind of dream to be a voice actor.
Mm-hmm. Really? I know. I remember. I did your headshots.
That once or twice.
That's right. You did the headshots. That's right. That they rejected. And
you have to wear clothes, Troy.
Yeah,
they didn't like the nude photos we sent them.
World War G spot, what? And yeah, I've mentioned it a couple times on the show. And so a lot of the time, if I'm just like surfing the internet, I'll go on to like
Craigslist.
No. It's gonna be one of those shows, isn't it?
Pretty much.
I'll do like voice acting job sites or that sort of thing. See if there's something I can like throw like a demo or something onto. Yeah. And I found this website called ACX.com.
Sounds legit.
Mm. It actually is. Actually, it's very legit.
You had to give them like $3,000, you know, to.
So it turns out that it's nothing but audiobooks, and like authors upload audiobooks that are then sold on Amazon.
Okay.
So I found a place where they have a spot for like narrator, that's what it's called, and you can upload a sample. I have 2 demos that I made, so I upload both of those. 2 days later, I get I get a message from somebody over email saying that I have an offer to record a book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I find him, message him back and forth, kind of work out logistics, work out payment, you know, contract, all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, I'm contracted to record this audiobook.
That's awesome.
That's way sweet.
That will be on sale on Amazon after I'm done. And you wouldn't think that sitting there and reading would be exhausting or tiring, but it is.
Takes it out of you?
It does. Like after I was done with like the foreword, I'm like, oh, I'm worn out.
Well, there's a reason why audiobooks cost so much more than like printed books.
Mm. Yeah, but it's fun to do, and it'll look good on a resume if I can get a couple of those under my belt. So,
and who knows?
You didn't get to pick and choose which books, right?
You can choose the genre. I pretty much chose everything except for erotica.
Oh, come on!
What the heck? Where's your sense of adventure?
Yeah. But yeah, this one I'm doing is a sci-fi science fiction book. Kind of reminds me of Blade Runner.
Is that what sci-fi is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Never knew that.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of Blade Runner. It takes place in the future. It's called Society Builders, which the book is already out. You can go find it, but
I'll wait for the audiobook.
Yeah, you should. You should. The narrator's he's pretty good.
Yeah.
So
He's got a
did
voice.
you have to go through, or did they already have it broken down for you? Because I imagine you're sitting over there with like a highlighter. You know, oh, this is when this person speaks. Oh, this is the narrator. Oh, this is this.
You just read from the page and...
I have it downloaded on this iPad, and I sit there and just read it that way.
That's
oh,
cool.
okay.
Yeah.
Does it give you pretty good liberty to like pronounce things the way you think they should be pronounced, or did he like...
He is very particular.
Mm-hmm. Understandably so.
Yeah, because I found out the way I speak, sometimes I tend to slur words occasionally or mumble a little bit, and so I really have to watch that when I'm reading.
Enunciate.
Yeah, I have to really enunciate and articulate when I'm reading, and so yeah, it takes a little while.
Do you have a point to where like you record for like 10 minutes and then you go back and you listen to everything that you recorded?
Yes.
Or is it shorter intervals than that?
Well, what I do with the foreword is every page I would stop, go back, check it, edit it, clean up the audio, that sort of thing, then do the next page. And
so you do all the compiling and everything as well?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I always thought that it would be someone else. Like maybe that's for like recording house, like where they have big companies.
I was gonna say, yeah, if it's like really like a professional, like if I went to like
listening library.
Yeah. If it was a book from like Random House Publishing or something
Random
like that,
House, not recording house. That's stupid of me. I'm an idiot.
Then I'm sure they'd have technicians that could go and edit it and clean it up. But
we have a guy that does that for the podcast.
Yeah. He's pretty good at it too. Yeah.
But that's really cool. Hopefully the author really likes it and refers you to his buddies that need audiobooks recorded too.
Yeah, he said the reason that he picked me, a couple reasons, because
he liked your picture.
I think this may be like his first book that he's written.
Okay.
Or one of the first. And so he doesn't have a whole lot of experience with this. I don't have a whole lot of experience.
So you can learn together.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's kind of nice. Well, because you get somebody that's done this for quite a few years, and they'd be like, "No, I expect a certain level. I expect this."
They have their own ideas,
right?
Yeah.
And this guy, he's just like, that works. That's good for me, Or, I was thinking more this direction. You kind of be creative together.
Yeah,
and that's cool. So if you were to get more of these. Like, would it be sustainable income to only do this?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How many would you have to do a month, do you think?
It would depend on what I would charge as far as like per finished hour.
Mm-hmm. So you would eventually determine your rates,
right?
Or I'm sure that they do bids like any other business, but
right, because there was a guy I was watching on YouTube when I got the job. And I hurried on YouTube, how to record an audiobook. And he said, if you're in this to make money, it's probably not going to happen. But he said, you can make a decent living off of it. And he showed two of his paychecks. He showed the very first one. Mm-hmm. It was like $17. I'm making more than that, by the way. And then he showed the very last one he did. Year end. That's what it was. Year end. It was $22,000. In
that same year, or
that was like
so just
his
really
last year,
really
like
good side money.
Yeah,
like you probably wouldn't want to have this be your only source of income,
right? But it'd be really good second income.
It's honestly something that would just like if you love reading and you love doing this sort of stuff, it's a fun hobby that makes you money.
Yep,
that's really cool.
Sweet.
So this week I'm going to try and knock out a few chapters, and I have till August 12th to get it done.
Oh, wow, that's not bad.
Don't procrastinate, or otherwise then your reading's going to go a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
What was that?
How long is the book? Page-wise?
It's 35 chapters, and I think it's 64,000 words. I'm not sure what that breaks down to as far as page-wise. I can look it up really quick, but yeah.
So, do you also get a free copy of the book as well?
You'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah. You keep a separate folder and a file.
You just keep the audiobook and you listen to it yourself. Like you
put yourself to
make
sleep,
a copy of it.
No, honestly, once this is finished, I will not be able to listen to it.
Yeah, it's probably like the same with like Johnny Depp, how he doesn't watch his own movies.
Because, well, for me, it would feel like work, and I would start to get anxiety over it, like listening to it, like, oh, maybe I could have done that line better, maybe I could have read that better, and I just pick it apart.
It might be a good, like, for football and stuff, they review their games after. That might be a good way if you really start to take this like super seriously, just to be like, okay, I could improve upon this. I'll try that next time, instead of like beating yourself up. Yeah, look at it as a learning opportunity.
Streamline the process.
Yeah. No, I had to record the forward twice because I recorded it all once, sent it to him, and he sent it back. He sent a message back to me going,
"There's no audio."
No, he said it sounds like you're reading a manual. Like, I can tell you're reading a book, so, yeah, I'm going to have you do that again. Yeah. My bad. I need to act.
Learning.
Acting.
So. Theater.
The nice thing is you can take as many takes as you want, and no one will know except for Joni.
That's true.
Speaking of that.
You've repeated that same sentence like 50 times.
You're like, I will get it right, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of actors... I was segueing for you there.
Were you?
Yeah.
To what?
Steve Ditko.
He's not an actor.
Okay.
He's not.
He's a writer.
He's a comic book writer.
Oh, man. That was horrible. That was my worst one. You like pause, too.
Do you need another take?
Yeah. And nobody will know either. Except for you guys.
Yeah.
We'll take it with us to our grave.
No, yeah, Steve Ditko recently passed away just a couple days ago. For those who don't know, he was a very influential comic book artist. He is responsible for the creation and look of both Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, plus a bunch of other characters. When Marvel was first getting started, there were basically three guys that created the modern Marvel as we know it. It's Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and Steve Ditko. And so, I mean, the guy's a legend. I mean, if you like these Marvel movies that you're seeing, if you like, that Spider-Man movie that came out, Spider-Man Homecoming, you have Steve Ditko to thank for that.
Absolutely. I do find it kind of interesting that...
5 cats.
I do find it kind of interesting that a lot of these early characters were all patriotic. It was kind of a time in our country when that's what we needed.
Well, I mean, Captain America was created, like, in 1941, so right in the heart of World War II.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, well, okay, so you've got Captain America, there's red, white, and blue, kind of, you've got Superman, you've got Spider-Man,
Doctor Strange, even. He's red, white, and blue.
Well, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if you're curious, go and you can Google Steve Ditko and kind of find out his contribution to the comics.
Ditko, yes.
Not Ditko. Although that is a website I'm starting later. Ditko. My headshots will be up there. So, yeah. All right, let's take a break. And we come back, we have a few stories. Not a lot. But they'll still be good, so don't go anywhere. All right.
Like you have to convince them.
Yeah. Yeah, please stay. Please.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
And we're the hosts of Cosmic Potato, the Super Fan Talk podcast. We're a show that has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we talk about movies and TV and cartoons, entertainment news, and every show has a different theme.
That's right. We might discuss anything from our favorite bad movies to who would win in a fight between C-3PO and the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. That was episode 41, a classic. You can download that episode and all of our other episodes on iTunes and Stitcher. We're on Podcast Addict and, of course, on our website, cosmicpotato.com.
It's special guests and movie news and geeky nerddom and nerdy geekery and lightsabers and Time Lords and Ninja Turtles all the way down. So check out Cosmic Potato, the Super Fan Talk podcast.
And we're back.
Welcome.
A dinosaur story. Speaking of dinosaurs, much better segue,
Much
huh?
better.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Much better.
Okay. Jurassic Park, a famous shaving cream can, is getting an official collectible make, and it looks to be pretty legit. It's got, except for the only thing is it doesn't actually have any shaving cream in it.
That's too bad.
See?
Right?
Nobody cares.
Dotson.
That's a line from the movie.
We got Dotson here. See, nobody cares.
So the reason I brought this one up is mainly because I was thinking, we've talked about it before with like certain memorabilia and items that we would like, but is there anything new that you would want from the movie?
Before that, I would say that ever since I saw Jurassic Park in the theaters, every time I pass a Barbasol can,
you think of it, right?
Yeah, I think of it.
Oh, same here.
And so it's cool that they actually made
use that type of shaving cream, Barbasol shaving cream, because of this movie. Got it at home.
Oh, and for anyone interested, all of them, the older Jurassic Park movies are on Netflix right now, just so you're aware.
Really?
If you want to give them a watch, I was planning on doing that.
You know, it's actually kind of depressing when I work at the theater, and now we have the new Jurassic Park movies out. I think I'm one of the only ones here that remember seeing the original in the theater.
Oh, jeez.
I was -1 years old
Yeah.
when the first movie came out.
Yeah.
Honestly, the special effects still hold up.
Yes, they do.
They were
Much
amazing.
better than the new ones,
Yeah.
actually. Because a lot of, they use
did-
animatronics.
Yeah, practical effects are the way to go, for sure. And they're way cheaper for
Yeah.
some reason. Using something that actually physically exists is cheaper than using something that
That is
doesn't.
odd.
Right? That's like the those cow creatures on Star Wars that Luke milked.
Oh, yeah.
Where they actually took a helicopter, flew it, landed it there, on the island, and then had to milk it, and that was like probably a lot cheaper than going the route of like CGing it.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. Anyway,
Any other
back
items?
to your question.
I really want, I know this is more, they have it in the movies, but I want those vials, those little T-virus, Resident Evil virus vials. I think those would be awesome. Like, that look pretty legit.
See, I don't know. For me, it's not so much movie memorabilia, but I want, like, TV stuff. Like, I'd love to have, like, a piece of memorabilia from, say, like, one of the Friends' apartments in Friends, or
one of the iconic items, or one that they used in an
The
episode.
Phoebe's painting, that creepy one.
Yeah,
that would be fun
the
to
doll
have.
looking.
Yeah.
or like a uniform that Andy Griffith wore on the Andy Griffith Show, or something like
Gilligan's
that.
Isle, or Gilligan's hat.
Yeah, like that old TV stuff fascinates
Fascinates
me a lot more than like movie memorabilia does, because I think with a movie you see it and it's done, and unless it's like a classic film, it's like 2001: A Space Odyssey or something.
Rewatchability is not really a factor.
Yeah, and so I don't think the collectibles are like as cool, but with like a TV show where
So would
it
it have
ran
to be-
years,
But would it have to be in multiple episodes?
Yeah.
Maybe just something that's iconic, like for that show.
Like I'd love to have like a Star Trek uniform that like
A red shirt.
Or like that Patrick Stewart wore, like a phaser or something that was screen used. I'd love to have something like that. I think that'd be great.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How about for yourself, Cole?
I don't know. I've always wanted to have like a firebolt, like from Harry Potter, like my own copy version of that broom. If I could have the one from the movie, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
It's just like up on your like fireplace, like right above.
Yeah, I read somewhere that they
mantle.
had like 20 of those that they made, and they all
Probably.
look the same. Come on, give me one. You know,
It's
just
Give me one. I will say a wand.
Give me it.
A wand from Harry Potter. That would be a
that'd
screen
be
used
cool.
wand. That would be pretty cool.
yeah. I would say that too, but there's so many of the replica ones out nowadays, and I actually have one. It's a cool one where you push a button and a light turns on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess
Like Lumos.
having one that was actually in the movie would be awesome, like the Elder Wand. Oh, but they broke it.
They broke
The-
that one. They probably
Actually,
had.
It would be really cool to have the one that's broken.
In pieces. Kind
Yeah.
of like Return of the King, kind of like sword, you know, like you got the pieces like lined up.
Put them on a piece of silk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Still sharp.
And actually, speaking of that, I just read, because I watched the Maltese Falcon just recently for Cosmic Potato. And that prop, that Maltese Falcon prop, they only made like 3 of them. One got damaged by Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah.
He damaged one. And so there's only 2, I think, that really survived. They just found one, and it went up for auction for over $3 million.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh,
Someone bought that for over $3 million. That was screen used. It was in the movie.
So
Yeah.
they have to have like a still frame of that exact piece, like to make sure that it's in the movie, or how does that
Or
work?
have like an authentication paper that's like signed by, the person that worked on it, or, something like that. Yeah.
To give it some legitimacy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's so much. I mean, you can go on YouTube and find, clips and stuff of people going to old, TV movie museums.
But now it also seems like a lot of the celebrities are doing the same thing. They want something to remember their time on a particular movie or a particular TV show.
And they've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
They're always stealing stuff. I know Steven Spielberg, he bought one of the original Rosebud sleds from Citizen Kane.
Dang.
He has that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Like right now in California, they have the Jim Henson exhibit. And so you can go and see like the original Kermit the Frog puppet or Muppet, excuse me. A lot of the original props they used and stuff like that. So,
Dang.
yeah.
Sweet.
All right. So we have a bit of casting news that came out for Star Wars Episode 9. And it's Felicity herself, Keri Russell, has joined the cast in what is, I guess, is a, quote, action-heavy role. Let's see, join production. Yeah. I guess production's supposed to start at the end of this month. Obviously, they're not saying what role she's playing, but the internet's already speculating, oh, she's Rey's mom, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I doubt that.
Yeah.
Chances are she'll probably be, I'm guessing, again, speculation, she'll probably just be a member of the Resistance. I don't think she'll be part of the Empire First Order.
She just stands in for Carrie Fisher. Like, nobody will know.
Well, like Colton said, from one Carrie to another Carrie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm guessing she'll be just a Resistance member, maybe a pilot or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be alright with that.
I haven't seen too much backlash yet on the internet about her casting. Yet.
You wait until it gets closer, you actually see pictures and
Yeah.
of what role she's going to be playing.
Then you'll get the sexist comments and the well, no, because she's white, so people should have be fine with that, I think.
You're going to find out that Luke didn't actually, spoiler, die or pass on and become one with the Force. He turned into a woman.
He turned. He's transgender.
Yeah.
Luke is transgender. Ooh,
The Force has no gender.
People would have a field day with that.
I'm sure even Mark would have a few words to say about that.
I think Mark would be okay with it.
Really?
Honestly, yeah. Oh, he's a big liberal.
Well, no, I know, but he's
Taking
already kind
over
of
his-
upset with the direction that they went with Luke. in
He's
the
like,
first
what?
place,
You
True.
because it's not actually him that gets to play the female.
That's true.
If he came back in drag, that would be awesome.
Pulls kind of a Eddie Izzard look.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, they went a weird direction with this one. All right.
They just try to do as many things to ruin Star Wars for everybody, and just to cause as much controversy as possible.
There are no white people in it at all.
What? No.
It's all just African Americans and Mexican and Latin people.
And then they have a no white showing privately in theaters
Yes.
all across the nation. Everyone but
Or
whites.
female only.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh yeah. It's not allowed. That's not allowed, Troy.
Trans wars. Tranny wars.
That seems like it should be a TV show, right? You've got Face Wars that they do the makeup artist. That's really pretty cool.
Oh, Face Off.
Face Off, yeah. And you need to have like Tran Wars.
I think that's RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay.
I think that's what that show is.
No, I just think like a bunch of trannies like fighting each other.
Oh, okay.
To the death.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I'd watch that.
Me too.
You're like, it's sports, entertainment. Are you not entertained? So, Chucky is coming to television with a Child's Play series. I don't know how the heck this is going to work, and Chucky's not all that terrifying or menacing. And I feel like the only direction that you could really go to milk it for all it's worth is to have it a legitimate boy that you call Chucky, and then somehow his soul gets transported into this doll. So then you can have it like before he actually becomes a doll.
Well, I wonder if they're going to continue on with where the movies left off, or if they're going to kind of make their own story with it.
Do you remember did you watch all the Chucky movies?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm completely out of the loop here. I have never seen one of them.
I've seen the first one.
I've seen that one, and I've seen, I think, The Bride of Chucky.
Maybe I saw
stupid
clips of that. I don't know. But I know I've seen the first one all the way through for sure, because that came on cable all the time.
Were you ever, like, terrified of Chucky
No.
at all?
No.
Yeah.
He's a doll, you know? There's no threat there. Maybe they're trying to capitalize on the whole Annabelle craze that's going on right now. But
well, no, because they've also done that with like a TV show of not Shaun of the Dead, but Dawn of the Dead, isn't it? They have some. Oh no. They have a couple of different shows that they've kind of done that are similar, like Scream Queens and Scream.
Yeah. I don't know. In the movies, did Chucky have like human man strength?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Did he?
I think he was strong.
Yeah, he's pretty strong.
Okay.
That's coming from never watching the movies, but
Yeah.
I think that he does have like a normal person's strength.
Okay.
In the size of a doll.
Because I can see how that could be a little terrifying, but they never really explained that, and so I never saw him as a threat.
Is he a man in a child's toy body? Is that
He is. Yeah.
Okay.
He was a serial killer whose soul got transferred into this doll.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, did you ever see the second Conjuring?
Yes.
Okay, you know where that kid's running around with the video camera trying to record everybody, and he's got that sai that he's running around with? I'm like, all you have to do is grab a broom or a baseball bat and just beat the hell out of this little kid.
Yeah.
He didn't seem like that big of a threat to me.
Yeah.
And the same can go for Chucky.
Yeah, get a golf club and beat the crap out of this little plastic doll.
Oh no, wait until he comes into the room and just...
Get a blowtorch.
Yeah.
You know, he's plastic.
Right?
He's rubber and plastic and cloth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they'll do the whole serial killer before. That could be kind of interesting.
Yeah, or have Chucky be, after it happens, have him in the shadows. Don't have him be like out front, you know, have him just be this...
So where would you go with the...
Which, by the way, best cameo in Ready Player One, Chucky.
Yeah.
That was freaking awesome. And,
I was just trying to think, if you had him kind of in the shadows and this small little town that's dealing with this,
yeah.
I guess then you could introduce quite a few other characters.
I mean, make him, make it like a Michael Myers thing. Make him where he's murdering people, but how can you find a murderer that's a plastic toy doll,
Right. Could be hiding anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, there is some potential there, but
I might give the first episode a watch.
Yeah.
Just to see.
Just to see. Just out of curiosity. All right. So at this point, Incredibles 2 has been out for a couple weeks. And Brad Bird, the director, insists Incredibles 2 is not a kids movie. And it stems from what happened on Twitter. There was this user @MonkeyTigerhead. Okay.
Oh, that's a legitimate source.
It said, loved Incredibles 2, but seriously, @BradBirdA113, why the cuss words? I probably won't buy it now. That was the only disappointing thing in the movie. I just don't think it's appropriate, and I shouldn't have to filter a kids movie. #Incredible2, #let the kids be kids. Brad Bird responded and said, with all due respect, it is not a kids movie. It is animated and rated PG.
Well, he kind of contradicted himself because PG stands for Parents Guidance, right?
Parental Guidance.
Parental Guidance, which implies children.
But I think he's saying it's not
It's
a
up to the
kids
parental
movie
to make the decision if it's appropriate for their kid.
It's not a kids movie in the fact that it's not G. It's
Yeah.
not general audience,
Right.
like a lot of Disney and Pixar films are. And if this monkey tiger head has seen the first one,
Yeah.
the first one is almost just as bad. I mean, Syndrome talks about Mr. and Mrs. Incredible getting it on.
And there's suspected like adultery and having an affair. I don't remember cuss words in the second one. Why don't I remember that? Maybe am I just too like
Mr.
Desensitized?
I'm desensitized, yeah.
Mr. Incredible says, "Oh my God," a couple times, which we can debate if that's a swear word or not.
Yeah.
Evelyn says, I think she says, "hell" and "damn." But again, those are like the lightest swear words.
I don't even consider them swear words.
Yeah.
My wife does, but I don't.
Damn, perhaps, but hell is just a place. Like, so whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like on the same level like ass. Like at this point, that's barely a cuss word.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway.
I consider that one to be one, but...
Yeah, I mean... I don't know.
So do you consider it a kids movie?
I don't.
No,
but not because of this. But not because of the cussing.
I consider it a younger kids movie, not
like young adult novels are for
like
kids in junior high and high school,
12 and up.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I see The Incredibles.
Or
both of them.
PG-13. It should be. I think it should be PG-13. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Did they lose some of their audience if they were to have done that?
No.
They
Right.
make most of their money opening like in the theaters anyways.
Yeah.
And anyone that was going to see it with kids didn't know about the content beforehand.
Yeah, and Incredibles 2 has made all the money at this point.
All the money.
And I mean, like I said, I work at a theater, and I haven't heard any complaints from the Mormon moms, which is odd because usually they come out and complain. We did have one guy, speaking of that, have a seizure
During
in the
movie?
theater.
Really?
Because of those flashing scenes.
Okay.
Which they give you a warning at the beginning. I think maybe the guy should have maybe known.
He did that warning?
I saw a guy have a seizure one time in
Yeah.
real life. It was at Chick-fil-A.
Huh.
He was getting interviewed for a
Interesting
job.
Story. Cool story, bro.
He didn't get the job.
I wouldn't say he didn't get the job.
Anyways, back to the... I agree that it's not a kids movie, 100%.
Yeah.
Which is an excellent segue into what we have going on after. Right, we're gonna do an ad?
Commercial
Yes.
break?
Yeah, we're gonna do a commercial break. Sorry, I'm not usually
No, you're
Take
good.
it away.
the
Colton.
leader on these things.
Yeah, we will be talking a bit more about Incredibles 2 because Colton has seen it, and we were waiting to get his review.
Because I'm a loser and I missed last week.
And you've been wanting to see this forever.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, for the last 14 years.
Yes.
Yeah, give or take, a day or two.
Yeah, because for Colton, Incredibles is like Toy Story with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these movies are life.
And now I'm trying to think of a relatable. I don't know. I'll think of one.
All right. Have to after the break to think of one. So
Yes.
we'll be back right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Are you feeling nostalgic about your music listening needs?
Do you like the tonal quality that only a record can provide?
Then go check out Lavender Vinyl, located at 123 25th Street, Ogden, Utah.
Yeah, go talk to Kylie or Blake. They have a large selection of new and used records. They will also buy your old records, maybe the ones that are just sitting up there in the attic, gathering dust. And if you can't find anything, they'll be more than happy to pre-order it for you. Now, you can always find them at lavendervinyl@gmail.com. You can also check out their website, lavendervinyl.com, or give them a call on the phone, like a normal person, at 385-240-0336.
Be sure to tell them that World War G sent you. Now back to the episode.
And we're back, and one day we're going to get different commercials. I promise. They're coming.
I was thinking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Me too.
We'll do it.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Anyway. Yeah, The Incredibles 2.
Oh, the animated Batman, the animated series. That's the one that I thought of.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I had the whole commercial break to think about it.
Okay.
Guys, I'm so lost. What are you talking about?
How we were talking about how The Incredibles to you is like
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Batman the
Keep
Animated
up
Series.
here.
Sorry, I was too busy listening to that wonderful ad.
Which you all should.
Yes. Don't skip over it.
Yeah, you probably do.
All right, so the movie review, 14 Years in the Making.
Yes.
I wish I was better at reviewing movies. I really need to, just listen to how you guys do it, because I feel like I just ramble.
That's all right.
Anyways, this movie, definitely not a kid's movie, and I didn't have the chance to listen to your guys' review of it last week.
So this will be new. You won't know.
I won't know what you guys said.
Because we actually might have guessed what you'd rate it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We did. Yeah, so.
That's probably a good thing.
Continue.
Yeah,
okay. So, the thing that I liked most about this movie is that it aged with its audience. The target audience when it first came out was probably between 10 and 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And now, since it's 14 years later, I don't know that math, but I don't know. When I started, I never even watched it in the theaters, actually. My dad brought it home on DVD, and that's how I watched it for the first time. But it aged maturity level with the people that it was supposed to. So It's no longer for 10 to 15-year-olds, just like what that article was saying. Well, it may be, but it was intense. It was kind of scary. It had cuss words, I guess you'd consider those. And tons of action and a lot of abstract, concepts in it. And, with the manipulation of the supers. I don't know. Are we going to do spoilers? It's been 2 weeks, I think.
I think
anyone who was going to see it has seen it already.
It's not Star Wars or anything, so I think we're good.
But the only thing that I didn't like about it, and I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but it was incredibly predictable. I knew who the villain was going to be from the bat.
Yep.
Yeah.
The techie sister.
Yep.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Yeah, when we were watching it, actually, Joni leaned over to me and says,
"That's her.
One of those two is the bad guy."
Mm-hmm. And I knew it wasn't the brother. For sure.
I could see it being the brother because he was overly nice,
mm-hmm.
and I could see him
kind of going to the dark side.
And was that guy the guy who played Saul?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I thought his voice sounded familiar.
Bob Odenkirk.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah, I really liked the movie. It was super fast paced, had a lot of comedy in it, which is a huge plus.
Mm-hmm.
The rant about math was probably my favorite thing.
So good. That and when he is losing it and he's talking to Dash and Violet
Mm-hmm.
about trying to get everything together. Oh my gosh. That is some of the best pieces of animation
Mm-hmm.
and performance I've seen in a long time. It is so good.
And my favorite parts of the movie were actually all the ones that were Jack-centric.
Yes.
Because just friggin' funny. And he was never in the first movie as a superhero, only in the special features of the disc, which is Jack Attack?
Jack Attack.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really awesome. But I loved the movie. I won't go into... I'm sure you guys picked it apart last week and revealed all its secrets. But yeah, I would say 4.5 out of 5. Oh, I didn't give it a out of. What did you guys do out of last time?
Capes.
Capes?
Uh-huh.
Capes.
Yeah.
No capes.
I know.
Okay.
That's why we did it.
Yeah, I'd give it 4.5 capes.
Is that what we said he'd give it?
I think 4.5 or 5.
One of the two.
Yeah. Right there.
It definitely didn't disappoint. I had really high expectations, which I don't
15.
typically do, and I loved the movie. It was awesome.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I absolutely loved it. I think I gave it 4.5, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason it's not 5 is because it was so predictable.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was hoping it was Frozone. That would have been a crazy twist.
Man, that would have been awesome. Then they could set up the third one where Frozone's the villain.
No, the third one, Jack's going to be the villain.
But I need my Frozone standalone film.
You're calling it now? 15 years later?
Oh, yeah.
Jack's
I think that
villain.
Jack's going to have trouble adjusting to his powers, and it's going to be Dash and Violet that have to
He's going to be an
rein him in.
Angsty teen.
Mm-hmm.
Angsty emo teen.
Oh, jeez.
With all the powers. No, I need a Frozone standalone film. Because I think he is that city's Bruce Wayne. Because he is rich. You can tell he's wealthy. But yet no one knows who he is, even though there's like 3 black people in that whole town. Somehow no one knows who he is.
Ooh, and another thing that I didn't like about the movie. What happened with the Underminer? Just disappeared.
He just disappeared.
Yeah.
Gone forever? To come back another day?
I
Perhaps.
guess.
Maybe the third movie will finally be about him.
I was hoping that this one would be about the Underminer.
Me too.
I mean, that was like how it kind of ended, right?
Yeah. It started right where the last one ended, which I really liked. But yeah, that was my complaint too, is the predictability of the villain. But I also said that I don't think it was really about the villain that much. It was more about the family dynamic of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And them changing roles and kind of...
So I think the villain was kind of the B story, where the A story was, Bob trying to take care of the kids and Elastigirl stepping back in the spotlight and dealing with that.
Yeah, classic Mr. Mom.
Yeah.
With a twist of superpowers.
Yeah. And like we were saying, Marvel needs to pay attention that you can take a character who stretches and make them really freaking cool.
Some of those scenes and things that she was able to do, that was pretty awesome.
I saw a tweet the other day that was like, what if Elastigirl is actually like really skinny and she just is constantly stretching out her butt like to make herself thick? THICC. Thick.
That'd be awesome. Not so awesome. I just saw barely before recording the episode, the First Purge. And I'm a huge Blumhouse fan. I'll pretty much, even if they made another one, I might probably still see it. But
did it make you want to purge your popcorn? I mean vomit.
Yeah, I got it. I'm picking up what you're throwing out, No, this movie, it's the prequel that wasn't ever asked for or wanted.
Or needed.
Yeah. I thought it was nice, like from the first Purge, where they just picked up in this world and this with an interesting concept, to try to alleviate and decrease the surplus population and
reduce crime too.
Yeah, you could release the beast and purge. This one, it takes place on Staten Island, and everybody is able to. They can stay there if they'd like, and if they participate, then they get $5,000 for participating. And
if they live, right?
Yeah. There's you can also participate further by actually taking these contacts and putting them into your eyes and filming it all, so that they can have documented facts on who's purging and who's doing what.
That's why when I went in and I was checking the theater, saw the guys with the glowing eyes. I'm like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
All right.
So the plot of this movie is it's not nationwide, right?
No.
They start with just a small subsample to test the results
to see
what it would actually
what would actually happen.
Cool.
And what kind of initially happened is you just had a bunch of people that were partying it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was as if Tyler Perry had made the movie. Like, no joke.
It was Boo 4, a Medea Halloween.
Yeah, pretty much. Basically. Because I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting. It took a twist because nobody's really purging or doing anything. There's a couple of random incidences that are taking place from this one boogeyman type of dude. But nobody else is really purging. They're all just kind of partying in the streets and having fun and doing whatever they want.
Yeah, letting loose because it's not illegal to do some things.
Yeah, well, and they kind of touched base on this, and when in the other ones they didn't really even bring up the possibility of other like more sexual crimes, which would probably be taking place. This one they alluded to it a couple of times, but it was so terrible. It was just cheesy and really stupid, and they had these campy lines, and then what ends up happening, I don't even care if I spoil it, because you probably shouldn't see it. It's that dumb. The government ends up, and the president, he's just like, yeah, we need to take these stats, and we need to kind of cook the books, basically, so he enlists all these mercenaries to come in and start killing people, and they're wearing masks, so you can't tell who they are, and they start participating to see like, oh, see, this is why we need this. Plus, he also didn't want to pay for like homeless people. So this isn't, they already know exactly where everybody's located because they have these chips and implants in them. So he knows where the big groups of populated people are at. And then he just has these, under the guise of white supremacist members, go around and take out like people. And there was one point where I started laughing in the theater because all these people, these guys, these black, Hispanic, everybody they were inside of a building and they were shooting into, kind of into the mist. And it was really Nazis in the mist because you had like these guys with these KKK masks popping up, shooting back, popping down. And it was like whack-a-mole or something, like only with like Ku Klux Klan members.
KKK whack-a-mole.
Yeah. It was so campy and cheesy, and like these guys are shooting down the hallway trying to take out this one guy, and he's holding up this huge mirror that he just happens to find, and he's looking down the hallway, and when he looks into the mirror, they're only like 10 feet away, but nobody can shoot this mirror. They can't take it out, and so then he puts it back, and then he looks again, and then he's just like, throw this grenade down the hallway, and I'll shoot it. So then he tries to shoot it. She throws it down there, and she's such a wuss. She like throws it like a couple of feet, and it bounces, and then he shoots at it, misses. Then they finally shoot him, and then he shoots it like last second. It blows up, kills everybody, and then he grabs a mattress, flips it over the top, and they hide under the mattress, and they're okay. They don't get burned at all as it like blows up this building.
A mattress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We all know those fireproof mattresses.
As long as you don't take the tag off, they are fire resistant.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you guys see This Is Us? He uses a mattress to protect himself from the fire.
Nope.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that grenades exploded on their own.
They do, but it was like this little hand that grenade, and there's all these homeless women in the streets throwing and blowing up bombs and stuff. And
so why did he have to shoot it though? If it was a hand grenade, was it a homemade one?
It was a homemade.
Oh, gotcha. Thing. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense because like hand grenades, you pull the pin and you toss it and it blows up on its own. No firearms necessary.
Yeah, I
was gonna say that would be a plot hole. It's like I just got shot for that. You know those blow up by themselves, right?
Although it was kind of interesting because the one takeaway from this is at the end of the movie, they have this rapper that's just like singing, and then it kind of stops halfway through, and then they do a commercial and a teaser for a Purge TV series that they're doing.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's going to be like this little mini-series that they're going to make of The Purge.
So they're doing what they did with Paranormal Activity, where they're taking the first one, which was a very interesting, kind of cool idea, made more money than they thought it would, and they're like, okay, sequel.
Yeah.
And they just get worse and worse and worse as they go.
Well, okay, so this is from the creators, Blumhouse. They did Saw and Paranormal Activity, so it only makes sense, right? That they're going to milk it for all the money. And it actually did pretty well in box office. I mean, it's only sitting at like a 52 on Rotten Tomatoes, but out of 5 mattresses, I'm sitting at 1.
Wow.
Wow. If that.
I think that might be the lowest I've ever heard you rate since being on the podcast.
It was cheesy and dumb, and I want my money back.
Wow.
All right.
Oh, before we move on to the next movie review, I actually want to change my rating for Incredibles. I'm going down to a 4. Oh. And not because of the movie, but because of the stupid little Pixar clip that they did before the movie that I'm tired of seeing.
You don't like that?
What?
No, I paid for Incredibles. I didn't come to pay for some dumpling-headed weirdo.
Some dim sum.
Dumpling-headed weirdo. Oh, that might be the name of the episode.
Like, I can't stand it. They did the same thing with Coco. With
Well, every Pixar film has a little short at the beginning.
Since that bound and
but
rebound,
it's supposed to be
right?
a short.
That was a short?
No, that was a long. Same with the Frozen one in front of...
Okay, that Frozen one was like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That Dumpling one maybe was like 5.
No, I think it was more than that.
It is...
Do you guys have a favorite one?
The bird one.
The bird one? That one was pretty dang funny.
I work at a theater. I've seen that several times. It's only about 5 minutes.
I really like the paper airplane one. Where you have to throw
across the
See, that
building.
one's good. See, it's charming. They're charming.
Yeah.
I think
you just don't like good
Jerry's
good
Game
movies.
with the chess.
Yeah.
Charming.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's because when I first saw those, they were on DVD, so I didn't think that was part of the theater experience.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, gotcha.
Because I don't think that, like, Monsters, Inc., they didn't have one.
Did they?
I think they did. I'm pretty sure they did.
Well, if they do, the DVD doesn't have one.
I know there's one with the volcanoes.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty recent. I think that was before Moana. That would make sense.
Yeah, that was before Moana.
And then the Bound, Rebound, whatever it was called.
They've had a ton of them.
Yeah,
they've made
a
2 volumes of the little.
I guess I just
shorts.
have never noticed it before. Or maybe now that I'm getting older and my time is precious. Okay, I'll give it a pass. Back up to 4.5.
You do what you're gonna do.
You do you.
You do you.
Now, the one that we've all been waiting for.
Ant-Man.
Yes.
And the Wasp.
Invisible drum roll.
Oh,
no sound.
Actually fits
I'm glad
right.
you told that. Yeah.
Fit right into the movie, actually. So this is obviously the sequel to Ant-Man. Surprise, surprise. We get Paul Rudd back. We get Evangeline Lilly back. We got Michael Douglas back. Almost said Kirk Douglas. Wrong Douglas. And we get the original Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. So, this time around, what happens is we know at the end of Ant-Man that Scott Lang was able to escape the quantum realm.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that Hank Pym thought was never possible.
But the power of love is strong.
That's what Huey Lewis tells us. Boom. Thank you for those who got that reference. And so Hank Pym's all of a sudden like, maybe we can get, talking to Hope, maybe we can get your mom out because Scott was able to get out of the quantum realm.
And in the quantum realm, time pretty much stands still, right?
That's what they said. Yeah. Although, that's kind of a loophole there. Or a plot hole, not loophole.
Plot hole.
Little plot hole there. Anyway.
Just a little plot hole.
You really have to take away your
thinking cap
belief. Well, suspend your disbelief. Like, for example, when they shrink a building, that building is still going to weigh as much as the building it would weigh.
Okay.
But they just kind of pick it up like nothing.
Yeah.
It would still weigh tons. Like the shrinking, it
doesn't change the mass. It changes the volume and size.
Right. If anything, it become even dense. It become more dense, be even heavier. So that science nerds, just relax. Anyway, and so what happens is the plot is basically creating this device, this quantum tunnel, where they can go and send in this little vessel to go and try and find the original Wasp, Janet Van Dyne. Well, along the way, all of a sudden, there's this new villain that crops up called Ghost. Mm-hmm. And Ghost is basically, she is constantly in phase. Like, she's never solid.
Yeah, she's constantly in motion.
Mm-hmm. 'Cause she had an accident that had to do with the quantum field, and yeah. So she's always in that between phase, between realms.
Even when she's kind of trying to be stationary?
Well, what happens is there's this chamber she can go in that kind of temporarily fixes her.
Okay.
And the suit that she wears kind of seems like it can control her powers to a point.
Mm-hmm.
And so what she needs then is the power that
Of love.
Again, Huey Lewis told us that Janet Van Dyne has in the quantum realm, because if she can, it's all very technobabble, but if she can kind of take the life force of her, someone who's been in the quantum realm for so many years, for like 30 years, she will then fix her problem.
Aha.
And there you have your conflict. So this is kind of an interesting one, because when I originally saw it, afterwards I thought, did I like that one that much? But the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, no, I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
You know, I went, my review went up.
Mm-hmm. Once you've had time to think about it.
Yeah. Like, no, that movie was actually really good. Because, and the reason I was kind of wondering in the beginning, because Scott Lang isn't really the star. Hank Pym and Hope Van Dyne are the stars of this. So when the movie is called Ant-Man and The Wasp, it's not
referring to the original Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes, it's not necessarily referring to Scott, which didn't even hit me until I got home. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, there was some. It's really funny. It has a lot of funny lines.
Paul Rudd. Anything with Paul Rudd.
It hits a lot of the same beats as the first one did. You get a B story with Scott Lang's buddies trying to start up this company and the security company. Where it falls apart is they have this whole other group that's trying to get a hold of this building, because in the building is this quantum tunnel that can send you to the quantum zone. And so when you see in the preview he shrinking the building down, that kind of becomes the MacGuffin of the whole thing, is trying to get this building. And what falls apart is there's this group of these mercenaries. They're trying to get it. That's led by Walton Goggins, and they don't need to be there. Like they're just
kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, it's just too much. Their story is kind of pointless. They don't. Yeah. But the rest is actually really interesting and really fun. And I'll tell you this: you'll come away thinking the Wasp is a freaking awesome character.
Really?
Yeah, because she's like a superhero, whereas Scott is like, he tries his best, but her, like, she's been training all her life. She is a superhero. She uses
Widow caliber.
Yeah, she uses these powers the way they were meant to be used. So out of 5 tiny buildings, I'm giving it 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's worth seeing in theaters, then
yes, it is.
Okay,
it is worth seeing in theaters.
Does this one also help segue the next, or does it? Okay, does it allude to Infinity War at all?
Mm-hmm.
And this takes place before Infinity War, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
We won't. He's smiling, so we won't go in anymore on that. We don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah. It has a fantastic mid-credit scene. One of the best I've seen in a long time.
Really?
Yeah. The very end scene is kind of a throwaway thing. It's not really that important. But that mid-credit scene is freaking awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. So there you go.
Cool. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. No, neither can I.
Go see The Incredibles. Go see Ant-Man and the Wasp. And you forget about The Purge.
Yeah. Just do it in real life.
Yeah. Before we leave, though, we got a couple corrections on our last episode.
Say what?
Believe it or not, we kind of messed up on a couple things.
No,
Yeah.
say it ain't
Are
so.
these? Is this feedback from listeners?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, listeners.
And by listeners, I mean Joel, because it's always Joel.
Oh, thank you, Joel.
So I'm gonna play this.
I prefer to say listener.
Usually, I play because he called the cat phone. And I usually play it through the computer, but that would take time, and I'm just going to play it now, so here we go.
Hey guys, Joel. So I was listening, and I wanted to chime in on something that's kind of bugging me recently with the whole, Disney's making their own streaming service, and ABC, CBS, Nickelodeon. You can find basically anyone making their own streaming service. And you guys are talking about the same thing that other people are talking about, where, hey, let's make them all accessible, maybe for just one low price. And I'm thinking, well, what's available that you can pay one monthly price and get access to Disney, ABC, CBS, NBC, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network? It's freaking cable. And so I'm like positive that all these streaming services are going to run into this thing like, oh crap, no one wants to pay individually. What can we do? All right, let's just charge everyone one low price, and cable's going to freaking roll over in their graves and be like, F you all, just F you all. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. What do you guys think? Thanks.
Okay, Joel.
He's
here's
not
the
wrong.
Thing. He's not wrong, but at the same time, I like to watch it on my time when I want, with
No commercials.
Exactly.
There it is.
Commercials.
That's what it is.
There's the caveat. But some of those streaming services do have commercials, and you got to pay a little extra if you don't want the commercials, like CBS.
Fine by me.
Hulu, yeah.
Fine by me. I pay for Hulu Plus.
All right.
Same here.
I don't like being advertised to. I have AdBlock Plus on my computer, and ads are nightmares. Except for ours. Ours are great.
I was gonna say, that being said, go check out Booked on 25th.
Oh, speaking of which, we didn't talk about this off the air, but yeah, we might be recording out that direction.
Yes. Pretty soon, actually. I think that's, the 14th?
Yep.
Might be recording it Booked on 25th. Look forward to that. We do have another correction. What? This is from Sean.
Ooh. All right, Sean. Bring it on.
He says, pushing my glasses up. He says, actually. And you know you're in for it when you got an actually. Event, though in the first Incredibles movie, Bob is seen reading a newspaper dated 1962. There are several instances that prove that both of these movies take place in an undefined past time period. For instance, Dash is recorded on a closed-circuit TV, putting the tack on his teacher's chair, which schools did not have in the 60s. And when we see Bob working at the insurance company, he has a PC on his desk.
Aha.
And that was just from me saying The Incredibles was set back in 1962.
And that's the 90s. Honestly, I don't think it's in this universe, so it doesn't really apply.
I was thinking about this, and it exists in a place like Gotham City exists.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is kind of a timeless. You know, they have modern technology, but they also use like blimps. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Go figure.
And it's a movie about superheroes.
Yes.
Which don't exist as much as we want them to.
Shut up.
Yeah.
We would know, apparently, if they did.
Oh, well, okay. I mean, some of them might exist. I mean, I'm not saying I'm Superman, but you've never seen Superman and me in the same room at the same time?
I've never seen Superman at all.
You haven't?
In real life.
Yeah. You haven't?
No.
Well, look up in the sky more.
And also, he has hair.
In that universe, there's alternate universes.
It's a wig.
Yeah.
Well, you'd be really easy to identify then.
Yeah. No, because all I do is put on glasses and boof.
Oh, okay.
I'm a different person.
All right. All right. I think that's enough of our shenanigans for one day. So here's where you can find us. You can find us at all of our episodes at worldwarg.podbean.com. We're also over on the Cosmic Potato Network. Just go to cosmicpotato.com. We're also on iTunes and Google Play. We're everywhere. Just search World War G. On the social media, we're on facebook.com/WorldWarG podcast. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. Just search at WWG podcast. You can find all of our merchandise and shirts and stuff at shop.spreadshirt.com/WorldWarG. You can also email us anytime.
Day or night.
At worldwgpodcast@gmail.com. Also remember, you can call or text the show at any time at 385-240-1692. We would love to hear from more people than just Joel. Just saying. Look, I love Joel. Yeah. I love you, man.
Yeah.
But I would like to hear from people that I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. All right. I threw off my groove there. So, this has been World War G episode 182. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
And I've been Colton.
Stay geeky, my friends, and
stay tuned for the following segment, World War G Spot.
Ooh. Stay tuned for World War G After Dark.
Yeah.
That's all, folks.